Welcome to Bramble the Mountain King, a fairly recent game from just this past April. Very, very successful though. Extremely positive reviews on your Steam purchasing platform. Apparently has photosensitive epilepsy warnings. Heed those, please. And excessive blood and gore if that text is too small for you to read. Infanticide, murder, harm to minors, violence against animals. Yeah. Mind this game. Give it its fair seriousness. There might be some gravity to behold as we experience Bramble for ourselves. I don't know a lot about this game. I understand it to be sort of like from a genre of games that I call inside-likes, which is a ridiculous thing to call them, because they are all basically the same sort of gameplay as a very old game called Out of This World or Another World. Very influential game from the either late 90s? No, that must have been the 90s. Yeah, Inside, Limbo, Little Nightmares, Dark, they're all very much based on the formula of Out of This World. But I call all the games inside-likes anyway, because Inside is my favorite of the bunch. And also, it really established that these sorts of games ought to be horror in nature, and Bramble is very much a horror game. Just adding an epilepsy warning to the stream title, as was wisely suggested to me by chat. Most games have epilepsy warnings, just to cover their bases. But this one goes out of its way to throw in a bonus one, so it probably means it. Anyway, let's start to see what this game is about. I have no idea what option I have selected right now, because the highlighting is very faint on my screen. Looking over at the stream preview, I can actually tell that I'm currently on New Game. So let's see what it has to offer. A staple of this style of gameplay is to have minimal, if any, dialogue. Very surreal storytelling, which I enjoy immensely.
A nightmare woke him up. Frightened by his mother's bedtime story, he searched for his sister's comfort. But she was nowhere to be found.
I'm already in control. So this is especially a Limbo-like, because it's about searching in a horrific world for a lost sister. Limbo doesn't actually have an official plot. Like, no one knows who the person you're searching for in that game actually is. But it is assumed to be the main character's sister.
There once was a girl who snuck out of her bedroom window at night, even though her mother had told her not to.
Is this audio peaking on stream as well? Like, the voice clips are consistently peaking, which is a weird thing to hear in a video game.
She went into the forest, and at first it welcomed her with warmth and a promise of adventures.
There's also much more dialogue than I would have expected from this sort of game. But perhaps that is its innovation to this subgenre.
But soon, the forest seemed to grow colder and darker. The girl was afraid, and she wanted to go home. But Bramble crawled around her arms and legs, and she could not get away. And the girl was never seen again.
I love a happy ending.
That is what happens when you do not listen to your mother. Especially you, Lilymoor. Their mother had said before kissing them goodnight.
That is classic fairy tale stuff. You don't listen to your authority figures, you're dead. Obey blindly, or die horribly. A horrible message to teach children. That's certainly a pile of flesh that one could gaze upon. Why would you hang this in a child's bedroom? Stuff of nightmares. My grandmother actually had a, like, creepy-ass clown oil painting that she, like, hung in people's bedrooms. Primarily to torment them. This is why I abandoned all my family members. Give me these. Take the matches with you. Never know what kind of puzzles they'll solve, little guy. This guy sucks at being a protagonist. And now you have no matches at all. Way to go. This is another book. Can I... Yeah, I can play with things. With my disturbingly cherubic face. Honestly, I'd rather see, like, melting flesh monsters than this guy's face. That's just where I am at. On the monster fucker scale. What have we here? Alright. Ollie is 8 R tall. At this rate, he'll never catch up to Lilymoor, although it probably won't matter, because she seems to have been killed in the forest. Anything else to touch in here? Nay. Okay, we're not going out the door. The door is too scary. Wouldn't want to go down a dark hallway, so let us leap the window.
The darkness outside scared him.
There's already a rope bridge. And you got your vest. We are ready for action. Oh, it's a full,
But
coverall
being with
situation.
his sister scared him even more.
Maybe the sister ran away for a reason. Maybe we'll just decide to live in the forest. With her. I can see that being a positive outcome.
The nearby forest was a familiar place during the day.
Well, it is not
But at
day.
night,
Yeah.
it's a different story.
Yep. It's when things get creepy. And it's a bad time to have a
There was no
curse.
trace of Lilymoor, and Ulle wished he could ask the pine cones if they had seen her.
Do it. Chat with the pine cones. Couldn't hurt.
But if the pine cones knew about her fate, they kept it to themselves.
Blasted pine cones. Never in my life have they actually helped me out. Today is no different. Oh. This one bears a clue of some kind. We're not going to investigate it further. Yeah, that's as much pine cone evidence as we're allowed to gather at the moment. Looks like... Okay. I thought it wanted me to climb the highest part of this incline. But no, it wanted me to go to the lower part. Climb there. More pine cone statues. Whole pine cone family. Perhaps we're getting more out of them than we ever expected. Non-verbal communication from the pine cones. Still very valuable. Deer are fine. No one's ever really been jump scared by a deer. Unless you're driving a car. Our protagonist is going considerably slower than your average vehicle, so he has little to worry about. Like I said, I don't know much about this game, but I do know that it is based off of Scandinavian folklore. But I don't know much about Scandinavian folklore, so that doesn't help me in the slightest. Is it like Vikings? Is Norse Scandinavian? I'm legitimately that ignorant. Is Thor going to come attack us? Is that what we're up against? Pine cones. Also chilling out here. Yeah, honestly, the pine cones have proven much more helpful than we initially gave them credit for. Not that they've actually done anything, but they're providing welcome company. Keeping us from losing our minds here in the dark forest. Right up the ladder. Didn't even have to touch a button. Is that a knife? Grab the knife. I don't care about the Matryoshka doll. More matches. Oh, this time it's a key. Give me the key. Okay, is there a button that I'm supposed to be pressing? Maybe we spill... Yeah, the key is now on the floor. And we are all set. Excellent. Now we'll look at this, and it doesn't do anything. What's this? No, like, secrets carved on the bottom or the back. It's just a toy. It's worth a trophy. Shockingly. I kind of figured this would have a pine cone or two on it because it has light falling on it, indicating importance. Not the case. Okay, we got a jump button. It's an action platformer. That's a weird structure that I just jumped on. I wonder if I can grab ledges and pull myself up. Surely that was not an abnormally sized bird. It was just closer to the sun than I am, and therefore casting a seemingly large shadow. Trick of the light. Have we here? An incredibly dark area. Apparently also quite cold. causing me to move very, very slowly. Freezing the blood in my veins.
A light in the dark. A symbol of hope. A spark of courage.
He stole a gem from the statue. So we're already the richer for a little adventure. Nice background and nice music. Good atmosphere so far. Not even slightly scary. It's certainly not very gory or infanticide-y or animal torture-y. So I'm expecting things to ramp up quite intensely fairly soon, I would expect. I always think games like this need a moment that hooks you early on. Inside has the weird, like, pig zombies that you meet pretty quickly. That was the first moment that hooked me. Oh yeah, I can jump. Forgot about that. Kind of important. Where is our pig zombies with tapeworms? Hopefully somewhere nearby.
What do you have there? Lilimur asked. It glimmers beautifully. What a strange rock. Light as a feather. She investigated closely. Let us play, little brother, Lilimur babbled. See if you can knock down this pine cone.
Oh yeah, revenge on the pine cones, finally. We're gonna teach them a lesson. Do I get more shots? No, I gotta go and grab my stone. And I can fire it again. This implies combat, which, if I'm not mistaken, out of this world, which I said is like the basis for all these sorts of games, that would allow you to get a gun at some points. It was never really the focus. It is somewhat uncommon to see combat in these sorts of games. Satisfied yet? Want me to just throw a rock at you? Ready for the fastball? Yeah, she is. Oh, great shot, Oli. Look what you did. You threw the ball right into traffic. Well, we're both going into the great unknown. That's probably fine. I'm not worried. Because I am separated by holding a controller and being in a well-lit room. Very little harm can come to me. Okay, was worried about that loading screen, as it stopped moving for a while there.
Together, they tumbled down deeper and deeper through the old ruin.
I can lean, but it doesn't actually seem to move me.
Follow me, little brother. I will protect you, Lilimor said. She was never scared like him. Ulle wished he could be a little more like his sister. Lilimor loved adventures, and Ulle loved Lilimor.
Is this being made in the growing popularity of Game of Thrones? That's the most disturbing implication so far in this game. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure many family members actually love one another. Alien as that might seem to certain individuals who are speaking at this moment. I thought I saw her go off to the left, whereas I'm heading off to the right. We're bound to get separated eventually. One pill has made us small, I think. And we gotta chase David the gnome. Plenty to see before we get there, though. Like you. God, I wish I remembered enough about... Oh, Koroks. That was a Korok. I almost forgot what Koroks were. Only 800 more to go. Our mere presence is so unfortunate that we broke the bell tower. Maybe not. Maybe it's salvageable. What way am I supposed to turn this? What the hell? Oh. Yeah, this is awkward. You need to pull it in the direction that would actually move the thing, so I'm having a real hard time moving it smoothly. More creepy babies. This one seems to be our friend now.
Gnomes are peculiar and playful creatures. They live peacefully in daylight and keep in their houses at night. Visitors that don't want to eat them were unheard of until this day.
I'm not opposed to eating the gnome. I'm willing to give it a shot, if they're so delicious that few can resist. Nothing else to see in their little village. Besides a porcupine that is gargantuan by comparison. This continues to strongly suggest that we have shrunken. And not that anything in the area is larger than it ought to be. Door too big. Even for the gnomes themselves to move. Unless they call upon the gnome army. They really not gonna help? Oh, do we gotta do like... Yeah. It's like the chicks at the beginning of Inside. You gotta gather them all and use their force for our benefit, but first we need to play hide and seek, I guess. Yeah, they're somewhere, and I'm seeking them. Got one. They're really lulling us into a false sense of security. If not for the warning about the gore and the torture and the animal death, I would expect very little horror out of this game. Am I allowed to search from a different perspective? I legitimately am not seeing a ton of gnomes. Some Dora the Explorer moments. There's one. So I was legitimately about to ask stream to like, or the stream chat, to point at their screens and yell if they saw any gnomes. There's absolutely no way that could conceivably help me. So now I'm just pixel hunting. I've got less than half the gnomes, which is distressing. By the house, apparently. I thought I got the one that was over here. Anything? Anyone? Anywhere? Oh, I only have 2 left. That's good, at least. Maybe they're in the grass. Check out there we go. In the mushroom patch was the penultimate. Now for our grand finale, which is definitely going to be wiggling somewhere around here, but they have just enough motion in the background from passing breeze. You can't reliably just look at that. Yeah, you'd think the sounds in stereo were a clue. But no matter how far left I look... Oh, there it is. They were a clue. Chad, help me out there. The power of stereo. I should probably move now that I've succeeded. We've earned teamwork. Aww. There's more gnomes. They didn't help us out at all. And Papa Smurf has arrived. Are these the photosensitivity warning? The little flashing bulbs? What are we looking for exactly? They want us to find 4 of these things. Not find, but herd. We only got to do 4. There's clearly more out here. But these 4 are going to be the easiest ones to get. Oh, no, you don't. Get back in there, you mandragora, you. Don't need them all the way in just yet. When I push this one in, the other one will surely follow. Careful. High five. High fives were actually invented by baseball players in like the 70s, I think. The high five is not all that old. A gesture, a way of expressing camaraderie. Here's a good time for a sea monster to come swim up. Brutalize me. Up. I jumped on a turtle. You never want to jump on a turtle. Or a toad, for that matter. Tasted by the toad. The Lillimore story. Well, it was an important platform to have. He wouldn't have been able to make it this far. He wasn't willing to hold still. At the cost of 1 lick. Ironic. Toads licking humans. Presumably, he got high from it. And is just gonna go trip underwater for a while. Apparently I'm not allowed to grab onto the vines if I'm jumping. Thought I could get a little head start there. Secrets over here. Honestly, when I took the side path to get the glowing rock, I thought I was, like, heading off of the main path, because there was more stuff ahead of me at the time. Anytime I attempt to look for bonus items and secrets and stuff, I accidentally find obscure main paths. This is a problem. Did I just die? Yeah, I died. We're on a very dangerous adventure, but this is ancient fairy tale times. Everything is dangerous always. Oh, wells are especially dangerous.
They were both curious in different ways, while Lilimur quickly ran along. Ulle could get completely enthralled. And suddenly, Ole was alone again.
We still have a guide, though. Lost our sister, gained a fairy. Oh, we move considerably faster when jumping. Speedrun strats. Whoops. No safety walls along the side of this. Gonna have to be very careful with my analog movements. I find moving parallel to the screen, and therefore left or right, on a non-2D plane is actually kind of difficult. There's something. Pretty sure that's a troll. Thankfully, the kidnapping sort of troll. Not the immediately eating people on the spot sort. I was gonna end up in the river anyway. My success in the platforming did not matter.
The river was strong, and Ulle was weak. He did not stand a chance. But soon the sound of the river faded. Ole was happy to have firm ground under his feet again.
Huh. So, we've come across the climactic separation point, but things are still not scary. We met a giant monster, but the horror has not yet begun. Maybe soon. Oh, people have done speedruns of this game because, of course, it's a popular game. People speedrun virtually anything. And the speedrun is looking like an hour 21 minutes. That's kind of surprising, because, like, I don't think you can, like, clip through a wall, and we're not moving very fast. There's got to be some kind of wild glitches at play. Make that speedrun happen. I've certainly had my curiosity piqued. But can't watch a speedrun now. I don't want to spoil the game. There we go. Oh, we're reunited already. Happy ending. Game over. This is how you get the world record. And I'm about to beat it. Despite the ominous music. Okay, maybe not. Oh, they're loading up something real scary now. They gotta grow like 10 flowers just to show how horrifying it's going to be.
Frog King made sure that his new friend would not drown. But without his sister, he felt like the loneliest child in the world. He just wanted to find Lillimore and go
We're
home.
alive, but why?
But to do that, he had to find where the big troll had taken her.
Yes. So we just gotta chase a troll. On paper, it doesn't seem like the hardest thing in the world. Admittedly, if we have to fight the troll, that's not going to go well. He's got reach on us by about 100,000 yards. I'm not great with measurements. These seem like the footprints of something. But the troll seemed maybe even bigger than that. I don't know, maybe I'm just pessimistic. Oh, someone built their small house in an unfortunate area. Our hide-and-seek skills paying off again. Gonna get us another key. Give me that key. I don't care that your village has been stomped. Something up there. Is this a case where there should be a ladder and there's just no good reason why I'm not seeing it? Just my TV is too dark? Aha. Nope, I need to move the platform over there. Very slowly. It is laden with heavy mushrooms. There we go. We receive a thing. This guy wants a thing. There. No matter how many houses you have stomped, wooden pig makes it all better. Oh, and he's following us. Who can afford a home in this market? Just gotta settle for wooden pig. And we've only got one of us, plus one gnome, to open the door. It took every gnome and 2 kids to open the door the first time. But Ole has found new determination. He will get the job done. And the gnome's going home. Okay, a mildly creepy bridge. I don't like how narrow it is. Hey, look at that guy. That mound's alive. But not particularly malicious. And kind of friendly, like the old Frog King. Lantern, that could certainly be handy. And yet it's not letting me press square. So as to collect it. And maybe it's just guiding the path. You know, common sense says grab that thing and take it with you. Not an option. Oh, a whole society of mountain people. Good thing they mean no harm, because they could tear me limb from limb right now. We've met so many supernatural creatures today. Okay, a gargantuan bear trap. You know what the fun part of Inside and Limbo are? Seeing what unique deaths you can get. Sometimes you just gotta ragdoll a kid. Oh, there's another one right there. And boy, did he ragdoll into, like, quite the body horror misshapenness. Okay, I definitely can't make it around there. It made my navigation prospects that much more difficult, and these really are well hidden. Our first actual challenge of the game, and it is destroying me. You're kidding me. Okay, I don't need to touch the ground. I just noticed the vines. No more ground for me. We're climbing. Ground was never an option. More crying. And the troll. The hated troll. Okay. I think this time, yeah, the camera implies that we're meant to go down. And around. Over a giant chasm. No fear of heights. Always scared of most things, but not heights, thankfully. Okay, onto the shrooms. The safe shrooms. And over to an obvious trap. It's a trap for us, too. Thankfully, the punji spikes are too large to actually impale us. They've only impaled an unbelievably large moose. For us to walk across. Uh-oh. There we go. I found a way to die from the spikes. I knew I'd get there. Okay, let us leave the moose. No saving it now. But if we starve later on, I will blame this kid for not carving delicious chunks of meat. Cavern that is perfectly sized to escape. I guess something roughly our size dug this pit in the first place so as to trap the moose. It's probably going to come back and eat it one of these days. Well, I found some of the gore that was promised. This guy's not taking good care of his meat. It is clearly going to rot. Doesn't seem like he's going to turn around and eat me anytime soon. Not just yet, anyway. There's a porcupine. Oh, waist deep in the intestines. Our day has taken a sharp turn for the worse. But I'm sure that'll all come out in the wash. I'm not worried. Leap across. And back into the guts, maybe? Ooh. Our stealth mission failed horribly. What can I have you... Aha! Gotcha. Gotta attack where I'm going to be, not where I am. Ooh! You win this round. Okay, jump when he does the ground shaking. Otherwise, you get bisected. He's free. I hit the same eyeball, which apparently doesn't matter. I gotta hit multiple eyeballs on multiple separate occasions. And... that's how it's done. Oh, that was, close. I cornered myself. Oh, I was going for the nose. Hit the eye, but we're free. He lost his cleaver, and all is well. Doesn't want a meal that can fight back as well as we do. Boy, this took a turn. Which I was expecting. So I suppose that's our hook. And it's a pretty solid hook.
Ola wanted to cry. A couple of hours ago, he had been in his warm bed. Now, he had almost died several times. His sister was gone, and he was soaked in smelly sewer water.
I'm honestly less concerned about the water than the guts. More gnome trouble. We'll help out the gnomes and then wrap up this introductory segment of Bramble. Wanted to get at least one of the big shock moments. That's what these games really live and die on. And I didn't realize this thing would slide back if I let go of it. My mistake. I did just spot an extremely large moth on my wall. And when I looked back, it was gone, so I'm probably gonna see a very large moth in my very own home. Anytime now. I'm not opposed to seeing such a thing. The horrors have not come home to roost. All right, pals. I know for a fact one of you could open this door for me. So it should be effortless with all of us. Hooray! Thank you for joining me. This beginning of Bramble. I will likely be back to play more of it. As I understand, this is a fairly short game. And if there are more segments like the Butcher, there's going to be a lot to see. So I've got some high hopes, as we will likely return to see more Bramble. Like I said, thanks for joining me. Have yourselves a good one. And don't eat rotten viscera covered in flies. That's the grim horror, or fairy tale, not horror tale, fairy tale lesson to take away.